Alright, so I'm gonna give y'all a little backlog. This is part 2 to the Donq thing. To the rolling whatever that shit was, that tour that they NYPD canceled. So I'm gonna give y'all a little backlog, right? So when the movie Wild Style first came out, and they breaking down the early stages of hip hop, the jams in the park and everything, right? It was a scene in the movie Wild Style when the white lady and the white man, they was like creeping through the hood trying to find out where the party was at with Flash and all them, right? So some dude with a pump with a gun ran into the white lady. Like, yo, what y'all doing in this part of town? So they like, oh, we looking to party, you know, we heard there's a jam and, you know, at this little underground club, we want to go. So the dude like, yeah. So, you know, he wound up backing the gun out on the lady. He was going to shoot her or rob her or kill her or something, and Fab Five Freddy intervened, right? Now, we going to speed it up. I'm going to get to our point. I'm going to just break down a few things. When you watch the movie B Street, in the movie B Street, they show you Lee and them was doing, you know, breakdancing in the street, you know, real b-boying, breakdancing shit, right? So then a black man and Ray Don Chung, who was a part of like a church or some type of theater and everything, they brung them to the theater to, you know, display their moves. Ray Don Chung brung Lee and them to the theater to display their moves in front of the old man. So when they displayed their moves, the old man tried to change they breakdancing and they moves. He tried to like water it down and make it into like some other shit. So Lee and I'm like, nah, we ain't with that shit. Like, you know, they walked out and it was, you know, it was like conflict. You know, it was like conflict of interest, right? So they, you know, they tried to make that shit more theaterish or more bougie. All right, so that's Wild Style. I broke down with the white lady I was gonna get robbed. I broke down B Street with the dude that tried to water down they breakdance moves. Now let's go to breaking. Now when you go to breaking 1, right? Ozone and Turbo, they lost to the Spanish dude and the black dude and the chick Lollipop. They lost to them in the beginning. They clinked them. The chick was doing the helicopter shit, you know, winding up, and the dudes was nice and like popping and boogieing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, you know, so they lost. Later on, they wound up getting the white chick Kelly. And the white chick Kelly, you know, when they did battle the group again, you know, they had a chick now to go against the other chick, Lollipop. So Lollipop was a pop and locker. They brung this white chick Kelly, and she came with like some ballerina, you know, some ballerina theatrical shit, like some Peter Pan ballerina shit. And, you know, people was like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, this ain't a part of hip hop. Like, this ain't a part of breakdancing. This is some ballerina shit, right? So my point is this. The movie Wild Style, the movie B Street, the movie Breaking, they all was directed by capitalist Americans, white Americans, whatever, by capitalists, right? They showed you in all 3 movies, and the movies was like in 82, 83, 84, something like that. They showed you back then that they had plans of watering this shit down to where they'll be able to use it, understand it, incorporate it, market it, and use it for whatever their agenda was, whether it was to advertise Coca-Cola, McDonald's, or whatever. They already knew they was going to break this hip-hop shit down and water this shit and taint it, right? Now check this. I told y'all in a few blogs already, there's different types of black people, right? A lot of early hip-hop pioneers was culture vultures, right? And a black culture vulture is worse than a white culture vulture. And the reason why I'm getting to the black culture vulture thing now, because I got on the DJ Khaled shit, I got on the French Montana, the Drake shit. You know, we know Tekashi 6ix9ine is a Mexican, so I got on that culture vulture shit. We gonna talk about the black culture vultures now. What makes the early pioneers, culture vultures, and the worst culture vultures of all is because they sold hip-hop out, right? Africa Bambaataa and all them in the beginning, and Fab Five Freddy. This before Fab Five Freddy even did the Yo MTV raps. But Fab Five Freddy and all them niggas, when they started partying in Studio 54 with Blondie, and they was going to the Roxy's. This is when Blondie had the song, Step Into My World. Flash is cool, Flash is bad. Flash is this, Flash is that, right? These niggas was watering all that shit down. They in Studio 54. They in all these clubs with these white rock stars, and everybody sniffing coke and getting high. And, you know, and this how all that gay shit came about with our hip-hop pioneers. A lot of our pioneers is homosexuals on the low. And I'm not gay bashing, it's just what it is. You know, y'all already know, you know, allegedly Bambaataa molested a bunch of kids and a bunch of people. Y'all know Mr. C got caught. Y'all know, you know, a lot of dudes came out the closet. Like, you know, different dudes was getting caught and getting exposed, right? So, you know, these niggas sold the culture out because they was coked up. They got caught up in the crack era. A lot of them was smoking crack. A lot of them was fucking with homos. They was just, you know, having fun and enjoying their life. I guess they thought that the party was going to last forever and that they wasn't going to be surpassed and become extinct or whatever, right? So we know Melly Mel had the song, White Lines, Tender Dreams of Passion, it'll blow your mind, something like a phenomenon, right? So that whole song applies to this day, because he talking about people sniffing coke and using drugs, right? Melly Mel, right? So we know Melly Mel was in and out of jail, in and out of jail, in and out of jail. You know, he come home with the super muscles and the tight suits and all that extraterrestrial shit, right? All these individuals never thought hip-hop would be what it was to this day, right? So they sold the shit out just to get what they can get at that time because they was thinking short-term, right? So those was the first culture vultures. A lot of the older hip-hop pioneers, they was culture vultures. They sold the culture out first, right? So one of the biggest culture vultures was Bambaataa. He lives in Europe, I think like 8 months out the year, 9 months out the year. Another big culture vulture was Fab Five Freddy. And I'm going to tell you another big culture vulture, Russell Simmons, right? So we know Russell Simmons teamed up with Rick Rubin, which is the white Buddhist dude now, and they started Def Jam or whatever, and they was doing whatever they do, right? Run DMC didn't want to do that song with Aerosmith at first, or whatever group that was, the Rock This Way shit. Russell Simmons brung that to them by way of Rick Rubin, right? So they forced Run DMC to do this, and come to find out the shit was a super hit, right? But the Rock This Way shit was the beginning of a dark spiral rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Russell Simmons throughout his whole career was a culture vulture. He did a lot of shit. All he cared about was the money. And with Def Jam, they was doing sucker shit. So when they did the Rock This Way shit with the Aerosmith niggas, then we know Def Jam, Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin, they brung the Beastie Boy niggas in. Them Beastie Boy niggas was corny. You know, some black people eventually started liking them because they was forcing that shit down our throat, constantly playing it. But them Beastie Boy niggas was garbage, and them niggas was trash. And then that made way for Vanilla Ice, Everlast, you know, Static Selector, Marco Polo, and all these other niggas that rhyme now, right? All the way up into Eminem and, you know, fucking Jesse James or whatever all these other niggas' names is with the tattoos and all that, right? I fucked with Milkbone because Milkbone ran with Naughty by Nature, Treacherous was his ghostwriter, and Milkbone has some fire, right? But, you know, the Beastie Boys shit opened the door for everything that's coming out now. We know the Backstreet Boys, the nigga Marky Mark. We know all these niggas piggybacked off of hip-hop. Now Marky Mark is one of the best actors. He's one of my favorite actors. You know, I like Marky Mark, but I didn't like him as a rapper. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, right? So hip-hop then was sold out and watered down by all these black culture vultures who was just thinking about capitalist gain and thinking about they self, the gluttony, here go the 7 sins again, the gluttony, the greed, and you know, all the shit, the lust and everything, and they let these people in, right? And now hip-hop is all fucked up, it's out of whack, it's worldwide, everybody's monopolizing off of it, capitalizing off of it and using it for their shit, and it's benefiting them more than it's benefiting the originators, which is the black people who created it, especially the black people from the South Bronx. You know how long it took for a Bronx rapper to come out after Big Pun and Fat Joe? Even though we had Bronx rappers like me, Myson, P, Aldo, Fred the God, there was a billion niggas. Like, we had all type of niggas. You know, y'all had Shells and all them back then. And nobody never came out, right? You know, and then eventually, you know, we got Cardi B, you know, we have Remy, then we got Cardi B now, we got French Montana, and I'm gonna tell you, ASAP Rocky's originally from the Bronx, Jim Jones is originally from the Bronx, but they both of them rep Harlem. So now we got a lot of Bronx rappers coming out, Donq, A Boogie, you know, there's a lot of Bronx rappers coming out now, the Ivan Thudo niggas, Prince Royce and Romeo, they from the Bronx, so you know, we got a lot of Bronx rappers now, so the Bronx is popping again with the rap shit, but it still ain't the gritty street pavement kind of rap that I do, you know. So anyway, now I'm gonna get to a point. All of that, the black culture vultures are selling out of hip hop, the niggas compromising for the money and everything. Now we gonna lead it up back to Donq and all them, right? They don't really need black people no more for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You got niggas like Ebro, who's from California. Ebro say he's black, I don't know what he is, but Ebro's from California, he runs a New York station, he don't never really play no New York music, right? Then we have the Paul Rosenberg nigga, he's a white Jewish dude, a big avid wrestling fan, which we know wrestling is full of racism, WWF, WWE is full of racism. You can check the archives on YouTube when black wrestlers like Tony Atlas, Butch Reed, and Ron Simmons and all them speak about it. But Paul Rosenberg, he's a big WWE fan and he's a white Jewish dude, and you know, he's a part of the Hot 97 shit, right? So they control the New York airwaves and what we listen to and the sounds we fuck with, right? Then we know you got Leon Cohen, he runs YouTube now or whatever. I'm not getting into that with him. You know, that's between, you know, I'll let Dame handle that. That's between them. But we know hip hop has been compromised. It's been compromised. So we no longer have it. You know, same way we lost rock and roll and we lost R&B because, you know, they brung Robin Thicke and then, you know, Timberlake and a bunch of billion other dudes, right? We only really respect like Tina Marie, or we fuck with Adele because they real soulful and they sincere. So anyway, all this shit is watered down now. They no longer need black people for hip-hop. And now they shitting on us. They doing shit. They blocking our money. They canceling rap nigga shows. They trying to curve dudes. Because it's like now, we can have any rapper. We can have Chinese people rap, white kids rap, or whatever. So they stopping these young black entrepreneurs and artists from, you know, flourishing and continuing to prosper and achieve their money, right? I gotta cut this short to start the part 3 because only a certain amount of stuff could fit on IGTV and YouTube. So I'm gonna go on to part 3 now and then break everything down. Iron, intelligence rule over negative nonsense, warlord, wisdom and righteousness is law over reckless decisions.